We know not everyone can keep up with all the news from the week, and that's why CBS News Colorado has gathered stories that topped our website from the last 5 days. So here's a look at some of the stories that garnered the most interest on CBSColorado.com. A CBS Colorado investigation into a roofing scam led to the arrest of 2 men. Your reporter Dylan Thomas told us about this scam last month.
And quite frankly, I wanted these guys to be caught.
The guys he's talking about are accused of planting worms under shingles, taking money for roof repairs, and then taking off.
It's still hard for me to believe that I was dumb enough to fall victim to it. Since we last talked, what appeared to be 2 or 3 people in this neighborhood being vandalized by the scammers has now turned into an international investigation.
International because investigators determined Dean Morgan and John McNamara, Irish nationals, were trying to leave the country after their business appeared on CBS News Colorado and caught the attention of local investigators. Did you ever fathom that the scope of this fraud was to the extent it was?
No. I think initially we thought it was pretty limited to a small area of the Denver metro area.
The duo was arrested at JFK Airport in New York, attempting to board a flight to Dublin.
If you hadn't done the story, I'm not sure we'd be having this conversation. I believe that were it not for the news story, this probably would not have gotten the attention that it did.
Ford thanked investigators for their quick and thorough action to locate the suspects and make arrests.
I am hoping that these guys are done with scamming people. And I feel better about the fact that hopefully by getting the word out, by you covering the story, by others becoming involved, that we may have prevented many other people from being scammed, not only here but across the country. I doubt this could have happened were it not for the initial publicity, because it triggered a lot of leads.
A furious community fed up with a party invading their neighborhood park, bringing loud music, dangerous driving, and alcohol, and leaving a mess behind. Tori Mason is your reporter in Aurora, and she talked to neighbors who say they're worried it'll get worse as we get into summer.
I drove past there these last 3 Mondays, and it's just been completely trashed.
Neighbors are posting about the problem on Nextdoor, and one even tagged Aurora police, saying it was the 3rd time the park had been trashed by the same group of people. According to APD, officers responded to 3 calls in the area Sunday regarding loud music and cars doing donuts. The city of Aurora sent a statement to Tori saying if a park or facility doesn't meet the high standards we have for our spaces, Parks and Rec staff work immediately to improve it. Exciting news for fans of Casa Bonita. Reservations could open up to the public this summer after only being available by an email lottery system. Nothing is a done deal, but the restaurant is looking at some options. Karen Morfitt is your reporter in Jefferson County, and she walked us through the options under consideration right now.
Nearly a year since its grand reopening, and Casa Bonita is still a mystery to thousands of Coloradans.
I signed up long before they opened.
Ken and Kathy Hudson say it took nearly that long before they landed the opportunity to make a reservation.
All right, you guys excited?
The Hubbard family was another looking forward to seeing the new renovations and testing out that new menu.
Hopefully the food's much better.
All worth the wait for one reason.
History. It's history. You know, we were here before at the old place.
Of course, I went here and the rest of my family and my wife since we were kids, and so we're happy that there's new ownership and that they revived it.
And for that same reason, visitors say it's time to do away with that invite-only reservation system.
I think it's a good thing. I would love to bring my grandchildren, but I didn't want to wait this long to bring them.
An idea that owners Matt Stone and Trey Parker are considering. Media representatives for the restaurant confirmed there's potential to see those changes by the end of the summer.
It was good marketing in the beginning, and new people need to experience it.
Tuesday marked 20 years since one of the most destructive acts of domestic terrorism in Colorado history. On June 4th in 2004, Marvin Heemeyer drove an armored bulldozer into building after building in Granby after a zoning dispute with the town. Your reporter in the mountains, Spencer Wilson, spent the day in Granby on Tuesday and talked to those living there.
What I want to say is Granby's legacy is its people. We're mountain people and we're tough.
Spencer spoke with a few people off camera who said a few of their employees were too afraid to come into work on Tuesday. Another said they didn't want to comment about it because it's still such a divisive topic to this day in that town. Tuesday morning in Arvada, 2 firefighters were hurt after a huge fire ripped through the StoreQuest self-storage facility just off I-70 near Wadsworth Boulevard. Those firefighters are expected to be okay. Drivers could see the flames from I-70 and the pillars of black smoke could be seen for miles. Arvada Fire says that more than 70 of the units there suffered damage. Your reporter in Jefferson County, Andrew Hobner, spoke with families who showed up at the facility hoping to salvage some of their belongings, and he spoke to one man who was in the middle of a move and was days away from removing his items.
I just hope that my unit, for the most part, is okay, but I'm literally not having any high hopes.
Crews are still investigating what started the fire, which will determine what insurance companies will pay out to people who lost their belongings. For a more in-depth look of these stories and the rest of the news you may have missed this week, you can visit our website at cbscolorado.com.